Hello, dear fans, friends, and subscribers. Welcome to the Cricket Happening Show yet again. And on this Cricket Happening Show, the Champions Trophy warm up match, which was played today, it was the first warm up match which was played in the Champions Trophy today, where all the teams have slowly started coming to England. And as you know, it's the warm-up matches. Today was the first warm-up match which was played between Australia and Sri Lanka at the Oval, and the victors were Australia. It was a big chase of 318, which was set up by the Sri Lankans, with a hard-hitting knock of Asela Gunaratne coming in, which I'll be talking about, and also for Australia. For Sri Lanka, it was Angelo Matthews, which was very good to see the Sri Lankan captain get a good hit there, 95, and 70 coming from the Gunaratne, Asela Gunaratne, 70 of 56 balls. He slammed it all across the park, and then the Australians were left with 319 to win, and Aaron Finch was the one who led with the bat with a very crushing innings of 137, and he got tremendous support from Travis Head, who hit 85. So they won the match. So the first warm-up match was played today, and Australians were the victors. So that is the first warm-up match. Now the other thing that I'll be looking at in this particular cricket show is the second one-day international, which is coming up between England and South Africa. And the good news for England is Ben Stokes is back. So we'll talk about that, and I'll do a brief preview of the second one-day which is coming up tomorrow. It's an important match for South Africa. As you know, it's a 3-match ODI series, and South Africa have to win. It's a must-win match for South Africa tomorrow at the Ageas Bowl, which always is chock full of runs. So let's start off. So let's get on to, and also we'll look at some cricket news where Kumar Sangakarra playing for this county. I think it's Surrey. There are only 3 people in the English county scene who have actually probably had 7 centuries in a row, and Kumar Sangakarra at the age of 39 has already left Sri Lankan cricket, as you know, has retired, but I'm sure this is a signal, because 5 centuries in a row playing for Surrey, that is something, because in the past it has been done by a few people, but 5 centuries in a row is something unique. The record stands in the name of C.B. Fry, Sir Donald Bradman, and Mike Proctor, who have done it 7 times or 6 times. I just need to look at the records before I really spit out anything here, which I'll be doing that at the subject to time permitting. So let's first walk into the warm-up match, Australia versus Sri Lanka, the Champions Trophy, and see what really happened. So Kennington Oval, London was the host to the ICC Champions Trophy first warm-up match, Australia versus Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka batted first, and they amassed a very good total of 318 for 7 of their 50 overs. If you are looking at the scores there, the principal contributor, in fact, let's have a look at the Sri Lankan card. The Sri Lankans were in some real strife at one stage when the score read, it was, I think it was 152 for 5 in the 28th over, and it was looking a very, very dicey for Sri Lanka, because Dikwala, is such an, as I said, Narochan Dikwala is someone to watch out for as far as Sri Lanka is concerned, because he has this unorthodox type of play where he can really get some runs, and that today he definitely did that when he hit 41 of 30 deliveries, 8 fours, and he's a very dangerous customer, at least as an opener, because he can really take you for runs at the over the top, and also, as I said, his unorthodoxy really could put the bowlers into a real sort of a tizzy as to where to bowl. Taranga was out for 13 of 19 deliveries, 2 fours. Kushal Mendes was out to the bowling of Moises Henriques for 5 of 13 balls with 1 4. And Kushal Mendes this time is coming in for his first major tournament here, I reckon, at a world tournament, and that will be something that Kushal Mendes would be looking forward. And also the world would be seeing the the real talent coming from this very flowering young batsman, Kushal Mendes. Dinesh Chandimal was out bowled by Pattinson. It was good to see Pattinson come on the bowl. Pattinson was bowled by Pattinson for 17 of 22, 2 fours. And that was the time of the score. And Kapugadra, after making 30, was gone. And 152 for 5. The Sri Lankan innings was really in a very sad situation. After 28 overs and 22 overs remained. But it was Angelo Matthews, the captain, who really, I thought, really buckled himself to the task very well. And at the other end, he had the company of Asela Gunaratne, who already has, already showed his wares when Australia played Sri Lanka, and he was also responsible for one amazing win that they had in the T20. And so Asela Gunaratne was slamming it all across the park with his very good hitting, but Angelo Matthews, on the other hand, was a man who was really nurturing the Sri Lankan innings along. He made 95, 106 balls with 9 fours and 2 sixes. It was good to see Angelo Matthews getting a good hit there at the centre after a long time coming back from the injury. Gunaratne was there till the end, making unbeaten 70 of 56 balls, 8 fours and 2 sixes. Sekuge Prasanna biffed 31 of 19 deliveries, 1 4 and 3 sixes, and 318 was what Sri Lanka had on the board for 7 wickets of their 50 overs. The bowling, Josh Hazlewood, 10 overs, 1 for 69, a bit costly. Pattinson was extremely costly. 10 overs was cost him 80 runs with 1 wicket. Cummins, 10 overs, 1 for 47. I thought he was the best bowler among the pace bowlers. Moises Henriques did his job well. 8 overs, 346. Zampa done for 60 of his 9, and Travis had 3 overs, 1 for 13. Now came the turn for the Australians to really chase a big target of 318. Well, the start was not good. Warner was gone early for 19. Aaron Finch, on the other hand, was really flaying the Sri Lankan bowling. He was doing a good job of really flaying the Sri Lankan bowling to all parts of the field, as Warner was out for 19 of 32 deliveries, 2 fours, become a victim of Pradeep. Chris Lynn made a 19 of 27 balls with 2 sixes. He's another one to watch out for in this Champions Trophy for Australia at the top of the order. Finch was still there, but Moises Henriques was run out for 10 of 12 deliveries. And then that was the time they were left when Moises Henriques was out. The score read 143, and they were in the 24th over. So now came the real change with Travis Head joining a very well settled Finch. And Travis Head, well, it took his time, but nevertheless was giving good support to Finch, but also making sure that the runs were ticking by. And Aaron Finch was the one who was really making it happen. As I said, he was flaying the Sri Lankan bowling in a very, very merciless manner as this partnership kept on growing. And Aaron Finch got off to 137 of 109 deliveries, 11 fours and 6 sixes before becoming a victim. He was gone, and that made it 218. And Maxwell actually collected a duck when he was LBW bowled Pradeep of the very first delivery he faced. Matthew Wade was clean bowled by Malinga for 13 of 15 deliveries, 1 4. Stoinis was out for 15 of 17 deliveries, 1 4. And Pattinson was bowled with Gunaratne for 9. So suddenly the Sri Lankans started coming in once Finch was gone. But Travis Head was the hope, and he definitely was the hope. And in fact, there was a time when his score was 60, and that was the time a crucial catch was dropped. So that really proved costly. And after that, there was no looking back. Travis Head had actually taken the Aussies to victory in the final over with an unbeaten 85, 73 deliveries, 7 fours. Cummins not out 4, match over. Australia winning the first warm-up match in the ICC Champions Trophy. And so that was good. Malinga, 8 overs, 1 for 32. Kulashekara, 5.4 overs, was costly, none 47. Pradeep, 9 overs and 3 for 57. Prasanna, 5 overs, 35. Sandakan was really mauled, I would say. 10 overs, 269. Matthews, 2 overs, none for 18. Gunaratne, 1 for 36 of 5. And Tisra Pereira, 5 overs, none for 23. So this was the first match, first warm-up match which was played between Australia and Sri Lanka, and Australians were the victors, and they would be very happy with this effort because it was not a low score, it was a big score. And I'm also told in this Champions Trophy The current nature of the pitches in England, one really can say that we are going to have some very high scoring matches in this Champions Trophy. So basically, it's going to be bucket full of runs. That's what one could well imagine happening in the Champions Trophy. So definitely, the batsmen are going to be the ones who are going to be having a field day probably in the Champions Trophy. But one has to wait and watch. So let's now get out from here and talk about the England versus South Africa second ODI, which is coming up. As you remember, England won the first ODI in a wonderful manner. And now let's have a look at the South African team, because South African, this is going to be played at the Aegis Bowl, which normally is a pitch where lots of runs are scored. So basically, we can expect some real runs, cascading from the bat of the batsmen, I would say. South Africa, well, the reason I'm looking at South Africa first for the second ODI is that it's a must-win match for them, because they have to, and tomorrow they have to level the series. Otherwise, England would be walking away with this ODI series, I reckon. But let's have a look at the South African team. Well, for South Africa, Quinton de Kock the other day failed, and he's the one who has to really get off the blocks pretty quickly. So Hashim Amla is definitely, as I said, he requires another 47 runs in probably 12 matches before he overtakes Virat Kohli of India to 7,000 runs, in the sense the quickest to 7,000 runs, one could say. Du Plessis, I thought the South African top order did a very good job, barring Quinton de Kock. Hashim Amla, Du Plessis and de Villiers did their job. Now, I think the onus will be on the South African middle and lower middle order, where the all-rounders failed, and also like J.P. Duminy, David Miller, Wayne Parnell, Chris Morris. I think these four players actually failed, and so that is what South Africa will be looking out tomorrow, that these four players definitely fire. And because, as I said, Duminy is an all-rounder, Miller is not an all-rounder, but Miller is a very good hitter of the ball, and then Wayne Parnell and Chris Morris can be termed all-rounders, especially Morris, as we know. The bowling, and also they have another all-rounder. One can definitely call him an all-rounder. He has definitely won some matches also, I suppose. And it's Andil Felukwayo, who bowls that real, not military medium, I'll say, but just above medium pace. So he's another all-rounder too. And he can also really hit the ball pretty hard. Kagiso Rabada, the bowling will be in the hands of Kagiso Rabada and Morris, and whether tomorrow the think tank of South Africa really wants this all-rounder, or they want to go for Morne Morkel. So already probably South Africa were probably doing the fact that they didn't have Morne Morkel. We might well see that Morne Morkel might be the man who might be playing, especially considering there's going to be a lot of runs on this pitch. It would be worthwhile to me to actually have Morne Morkel actually partnering Kagiso Rabada with the experience that he has. And Imran Tahir, the leg spinner who went for plenty of runs, has to really get his line right, I suppose. And let's have a look at the England team. Well, the England team, they are definitely walking in with great confidence, and as you know, as I said, they definitely look favourites for the Champions Trophy, especially playing the tournament at home. But one thing I can say, that England are definitely a very, very strong unit. Look at that opening bat, Jason Roy and Alex Hales, who form a very, very, I would say, a very hard-hitting opening combination, especially Jason Roy. Alex Hales also does his job very well, no doubt about it. And then they have the Joe Root solidity, and then Morgan has already started off with a century, so it's really good news for England that Morgan has really started in a very, very wonderful manner just on the eve of the Champions Trophy. Ben Stokes is the good news for England, which is coming up. Ben Stokes, so one would be expecting Ben Stokes to contribute in all departments of the game with this coming up, and I think that itself is a big plus for England, because we know Ben Stokes, what's the value that he holds in this England team, and also the opposition knows that he's quite a dangerous bloke in the England team. Josh Butler, We all know about him as well. Moeen Ali, who is also coming on a very, very good innings, and he came for some high praise from the English captain Morgan, because he thought that coming in at number 7 and playing such a wonderful turnaround innings of 77 was in itself really a very, very good knock. And then we have the all-rounders, Chris Wokes. I mean, as I said, England does not have a big tail as well. Mark Wood could be considered the tail. Other than that, I thought Chris Wokes, Adil Rashid and Liam Plunkett will also contribute to the bat. And then their bowling, as we all know, but it was interesting to see that there's no Willie in the ranks, because obviously someone does not know David Willey was the obvious addition, but probably due to injury he's not there, so it would be in the hands of Chris Wokes, who did a good job, Liam Plunkett, and they also have Mark Wood. So definitely, as I said, all the pressure is on the South Africans, and the South Africans are the ones who have to really get there. And as I said, this pitch looks full of runs, and also past history suggests that AGS Bowl has always seen a lot of runs being scored. So it's a very, very interesting ODI coming up, but a most important one for South Africa, because they know that this could be the match, a must-win match for them. But okay, so that is as far as the ODI is concerned. Now let's have a look at some cricket news. Now when I'm talking about the cricket news, I'm going to go to some very, very unique thing that had happened, and we are talking about a game in the English county cricket where Essex were actually playing Surrey, and the reason I'm talking about this match is only for one man, and his name is Kumar Sangakarra, the former Sri Lankan great batsman, the living legend one could say. And in fact, the match I'm really speaking about is because Kumar Sangakarra has done something that is a very rare thing. I mean, he has scored 5 consecutive tons. He's 39 years of age, as we know, and there was a match which was being played between Surrey and Essex, and Kumar Sangakarra scored 177 not out, and in that effort, what he did, this was his 5th consecutive ton, 5 tons in a row, and by doing this, he joined the elite group of former West Indian great Everton Weekes, former West Indian cricketing legend Brian Lara, Michael Hussey of Australia, Parthiv Patel of India, and Kumar Sangakarra, 5 tons on the trot. And also, so now the record, actually the real record stands for 6 centuries in a row, and that has been done by I would say very former players of yesteryear, C.B. Fry, Sir Donald Bradman, and Mike Proctor of South Africa. So basically, I mean, Kumar Sangakarra is almost there. I mean, if he scores one more century, which will be 6th on the trot, then he will be equaling the all-time record as far as English county cricket is concerned, when he would have joined the ranks of C.B. Fry, Don Bradman, and Mike Proctor in the elite company there. So that is something that Sangakarra will be definitely looking out for, and I wish him good luck. And probably Sri Lanka might be thinking, even in this Champions Trophy, after seeing the way he has batted, the Sri Lankan might be thinking whether Kumar Sangakarra has done the right thing in actually retiring from Sri Lankan cricket. Look at that talent. At the age of 39, he has scored 5 centuries in a row, and we all know what's the speciality about Kumar Sangakarra, and we all know that drives of Kumar Sangakarra is something which is always remaining in memory as how powerful a cover driver of the ball he was in his days when he used to play in test matches, one-day internationals and T20 cricket. Well, Kumar Sangakarra, job well done, and there are no parallels to this gentleman Kumar Sangakarra of Sri Lanka. So that's the reason I wanted to bring it to you, dear fans and subscribers. Well, I hope you all enjoyed this cricket broadcast. and I'm sure there's going to be another warm-up match coming, but I have to really look at my cricketing calendar as to see whether there is any. I'm just going to have a look as to whether what is the next warm-up match which is coming. So this is absolutely a fantastic company for Sri Lanka. I mean, for a fantastic job. And tomorrow, well, it's going to be England, South Africa. That is something we all know about, which I have already previewed. I'm just trying to see if there is anything else that I could cover. Unfortunately not, yes, Sarfaraz Ahmed is definitely captaining Pakistan for the first time in the Champions Trophy, and he has said that even though the rankings have gone down for Pakistan, he says he has nothing to lose, and he would be telling his watch to go on an all-out attack on all the opposition bowlers, and that's sort of a gung-ho approach that Sarfaraz Ahmed, the new wicketkeeper captain of Pakistan, who is captaining the Pakistan for the first world tournament, one could say, and so that is what it is. So on this note, it's about time for me to say goodbye on this cricket show, and hope to catch up with you all tomorrow on my next Cricket Happening show. Good night.